Alright, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to give you 10 spawn peaks that you can use on Clubhouse to hopefully get you guys some wins in your next rank games. I'm going to go through exactly how to set it up, what you need to look at, where you need to be careful for, and how it actually looks when you're doing it against an enemy. So let's get straight onto the first one. Now this first one's going to be towards the construction spawn. So what you want to do is you want to come to the gym hallway here and just open up this jacuzzi wall. I usually do this on the basement site just for reference, because usually when you do it on the basement site you'll catch people going to dirt tunnel. So all you need to do is open up the wall with either a shotgun or impacts. I usually play Rook or Duck to do this. And then all you need to do is sit here and wait until they shoot this default camera. Now mind, this is another enemy spawn down here, so they can come up this way. So what I usually do is I'll sit here aiming like this while I'm waiting for the cam to be shot, because you can hear the camera get shot. So once I'm waiting like this, if I don't see anybody, I won't take any shots, and then I'll watch the camera. Once the camera goes, then you want to run out and aim this way. Generally when they shoot the camera, they're going to be around this area here. So I usually get ready for them to be around here. Usually if you're a bit late, they might be down here by dirt tunnel, but either way, you'll get them when they're ever down here or when they're up here, and you'll get some freebies from it. So I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like now. So that's an example of what it would look like in a natural game. You'll be able to see them running out of spawn. That's like exactly where they come out of spawn when they're going towards the tunnel. For the second spawn peak, we're going to be spawn peeking towards the shipping spawn. Now for this, you want to come over to strip club, go to this junkyard entrance, it's called on the compass. I would never be able to tell you what this room is called, but go to the junkyard entrance, go to this door, simply punch a hole in it. And what I like to do as well is I do that way. I punch a hole and then I'll throw in and make some bullet holes, and then I'll hold this angle for when they come out of spawn, because when if you know about the shipping spawn, they ever come to the left here, or well, from their perspective it's to the left or to the right, so you can kind of watch both of them with these, but for the most part I like to do this one because it's the most safest. And then if I hear something on the left, I'll stand up and then I'll peek towards that. So I'll show you an example of what it'll look like with an enemy coming out of spawn now. So once you're aiming on their angle, you'll be able to see them come around the corner with pretty much enough time to kill them. Like, you have loads of time to kill them when they do that there, and you'll get some nice kills on some unsuspecting enemies. For the third spawn peak, we're going to be back over in strip club, and we're going to be spawn peeking the street spawn. Now this is a very fun one to do. You want to come over to this side entrance hallway, break down the door, and just stand in the door frame. And you're going to be holding this angle here. Again, like the first one, you can wait for them to shoot the default camera to know someone's actually going to be there. And then you just simply wait here, wait for them to run past your line. When they're going towards the building, they'll run past this way. Sometimes you might see people rappel on the garage roof here if you're defending gym, so you can get some nice freebies from that as well. Or they might come down this lane here. Your location has been compromised. For that, you can hear them run down, so you can just kind of like pre-aim like this and be ready for it. But that one I usually mainly do based off sound. And then just to add to that as well, what you can also do is if you hear people behind you this way, you can swing around there and try and get some kills from that way. But just be careful they don't wallbang you through this wall on the way past. So I'll show you an example now of what this will look like in game. Like that is what it'll look like. You'll simply just see them running past, get your freebie on them, and move on. Alrighty, so for the fourth spawn peak, we're going to be over in the kitchen hallway here, and we're going to spawn peak towards the construction spawn. Now the best way to do that, from my opinion, is to prone underneath this kitchen hallway door and hold this angle. It's a very low risk spawn peak, and you get a lot of kills from it, because generally people will run to the kitchen hatch, and this is kind of one of the safest ways to do it, because you're not visible to like the original spawn peak, the first one that I showed you. So it's very nice and it works a lot of the time. So I'll show you what it looks like in an actual game now. Like that, they're simply just walking to your line of sight. And because they're walking straight on towards the building, they're pretty much just like a very easy kill, unless they know that you're doing this. Alrighty, for the fifth spawn peak, we're going to spawn peak the construction again. To do this, all you need to do is go into the construction room and go to the single wall here. This is probably best to do on the basement, where you shouldn't be reinforcing this wall, because on both the top floor sites you're probably going to be reinforcing this wall, so it's not going to be able to be done. But when you do it on the basement site, you can get them when they're going towards the dirt tunnel and going towards the kitchen hatch, so it's very nice. You want to come with a shotgun, or even just any gun, and just shoot a hole in the wall. And then you can hold this angle down here, and this is literally when they come straight out of spawn. They spawn kind of behind this big red barn thing, and then they'll run straight ahead this way, or they'll climb on top of this building if the weirdos. You can even get some angles down this way as well if you want to, if someone comes that way out of spawn. Like, you can kind of hear for sound if they do that, and then switch up your angle and kill them there. But I'll show you an example now of what this will look like in game as well. So that's what it'll look like in a natural game. You'll see them run out of spawn, the head will be just above them wooden pallets, and you can pretty much line a headshot up from that. Alrighty, so for the sixth spawn peak out of 10, we're going to be spawn peeking towards the warehouse spawn, or the kennel spawn, And for this, we're going to be in CCTV. Generally, you don't want to be defending CCTV when you do this, unless you're an idiot, but I usually do this when I'm defending the basement site, again, like the last one. What you want to do is come up with this CCTV wall. What I do is I just shotgun a hole, or you can melee a hole, but shotgun is easier just to get the angle that you need. And you're going to aim exactly here on like the corner of this metal sheet, because this is where they're going to run past. If you angle yourself as well so that you're not visible to these angles, it just makes it a little bit more safer for you. So like kind of lean to the left and go a bit to the right here like this. You can even like do that hole, then crouch and make a melee hole and watch through this. Just to give them some questions of where you're actually peeking from. Like they'll see that easy, but they might not see this if you do both of them. And then you just sit here ready for them to go out. So I'm going to show you an example of what this looks like now. Like that, they pretty much come perfectly into your line of sight, and it's very, very nice for some freebies. Alrighty, so for the next spawn peek, we're going to spawn peek construction again. To do this, we're going to need to have orcs, because we're going to dash out into spawn like an idiot. But it's going to be a successful watch. So, all you need to do, when the timer gets to about 1 second left, 2 seconds left in the prep phase, pull down the door and just stand here. And then I usually wait around 1 second, 1 to 2 seconds into the action phase. And then you want to just dash out and pre-aim like this angle here, because this is where they're going to be running down from the spawn. So I'm going to show you what it'll look like, but generally you just want to stand in the door, sprint out, dash out. If you want, you can go a bit further up, but it's a bit more suicidal if you do it that way. So just be careful if you're going too far out, but you can kind of run out like this and get the angle if you want. So I'll show you an example of what it'll look like now. Like that is what it'll look like. Hopefully you can hit a headshot and not have to body shot them the whole way like me, but generally this is what it'll look like when you run out. You'll see them kind of running down that way towards the dirt tunnel. Alrighty, so for the 8th spawn peek, we're going to spawn peek towards the warehouse again, and to do this, we're going to need to be orcs, because we're going to be dashing out into spawn like an idiot again. So, you want to come to the stockroom door, open it up when it gets to about 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock, and then generally what I do is I wait for sound cues of people running out, or I'll go at like around 52 seconds on the clock, so like 2 minutes and 52. But then what you want to do is you simply want to dash out. They'll be right here, you just start spraying at them, and then you kind of dash back if you can, or just stay out there like an idiot and die. So yeah, that's what it's going to look like. You simply, when it gets to around 1 or 2 seconds on the clock, pull down the door, wait in the door ready, and then dash out, ready to mow them down when they're coming past, and then you go back in to safety after you've killed like 3 enemies because you're so sick. So that's what it'll look like. I ran out a little bit early compared to like when you would do it in an actual game, just because the timing was a bit off in the custom game, but generally you'll see them coming past it from that angle. They might be a little bit further out, they might be a little bit, but that just depends on the timing that you run out at. Alrighty, so for the 9th spawn peek, we're going to be over in garage, and we're going to spawn peek the warehouse spawn again. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the garage door. Now, we're not going to do what most people do, and we're going to, like, where most people kind of spawn pick like this, or they'll spawn pick like this and watch towards the left. What we're actually going to do is we're going to sit on top of this sort of shelf thing, and we're going to lie down here. And then in between these metal grates, which are actually bulletproof, you can get a nice little angle onto the spawn. And because you're so close to the grates, it's very easy for you to shoot through. And they're going to struggle to be able to shoot back, because for one, it's hard to see you. And for two, they have to kind of make sure they hit you through the metal grate, so it makes it a little bit harder for them. And also, what you can do as well is you can like sprint and stand up and then like jump over this to get back to sight safely. So what I'll do is I'll take some shots. If I don't think I'm going to get the kill, I'll just vault over that and get out to safety. So I'll like ping some shots. If I don't get the kill, I'll just vault over and get back. And you can also shoot some shots while you're vaulting over as well, just to like get that lucky chance of getting a kill maybe. So I'll give you an example of what this actually looks like in game now. Like that. If you don't have bad crosshair placement like me, you'll get freebies every time. Alrighty, so last but not least, for the final spawn peek, it's not really a spawn peek, but it's a really fun angle to kill people when they're coming in through garage here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up to this right side wall here and open up a little bit along the left side on the top, like this. Doesn't really matter how much you open. The littler you open, the harder it's going to be for the enemies to see, but also you get to see less. So I'm opening quite a bit just so I can like visibly show you what you need to look at. So once you've made them holes, you want to run up to Jim and then simply just punch a hole in the window here like this. And if I look down here, you can see towards the garage door, which is obviously where they're going to come in when they come in garage. So from here you'll be able to get a freebie off when they run in. So it's not really a spawn peek, but it kind of is at the same time because they're coming out of spawn in the garage. So I'll show you an example with an actual enemy here now. So that's what it's going to look like when an enemy runs through the door. You have loads of time to kill them when they're opening the barricade, and then also when they start running in.